Men who were previously living a lazy/unmotivated lifestyle, how did you get out of it and turn it around? Up until the age of 25 I did exactly zero exercise of any kind. I had a shitty diet and ate a lot of junk food. Ended up overweight at my worst point. Then I broke up with a very toxic ex after a 3 years relationship, which definitely contributed. I had all this free time all of a sudden. I took up Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I'm not over-exaggerating when I say that it completely changed my life. I went from the zero exercise to basically exercising 6 out of 7 days of the week. I do Jiu-Jitsu 3 to 4 times a week. I do lifting to supplement that 3 times a week. On top of that, I have a well-balanced diet that keeps me feeling good too. I'm 32 now and in the best shape of my life. Even had ABS at one point, though they're hard to maintain. Here's the secret that no one tells you, and this applies to any new venture. Don't rely on motivation. It's good to get you started, but it doesn't burn bright forever, hence why most New Year's resolutioners quit after a few months. Discipline is the word you are looking for. Make it part of your routine as much as brushing your teeth before bed. There'll be a point where it will actually feel weird not to work out or train. I went from the comically lazy guy in my family to the guy everyone sees as the fit one. Start small. If possible, leave the environment you are lazy in. Create a new routine. Go for a walk/gym/bike/run/kayak/paraglide, even if for just 10 minutes. That prep time and effort will do wonders for you. The only thing you need to quit is the idea that you can't do something better for yourself. The only panacea is to just do, and continue to do. Find something outside of your routine and make it part of your routine. Being lazy is a choice, so don't choose it. You got this, we all got this. You need to learn to hate life to the point of needing to get revenge on your own existence. I asked a friend to take me hiking when I was in a low time. Almost had an asthma attack on an easy hike. Had the thought, if I can get to the end, then I can get through this. Took me 3 tries over 3 months with exercising 4 days a week. Hiking became therapy. I could think through my problems and process them without being overwhelmed by the emotions because I could put it into my feet, if that makes sense. I could get it out and not just have it get to the surface and have to rebottle it again. I could let things go and think clearly when I was on the trail. That led me to seasonal/outdoor work, and I didn't look back. Tried new things, went to new places, met new people, and made a lot of great memories. There's definitely a lot more to it, and I don't even want to think of all the mistakes I made along the way, but I am very happy where I've ended up. Suffering. I lost a lot. It flipped my world upside down. I struggled for a long time and more anchors kept getting added. Then I lost my dad. I started doing better but still was in bad shape. I hated the person I saw in the mirror every day. So I started therapy again. Started eating better. Started working out. Then someone very important to me, actually the most important person I have left besides myself, recommended a book. The Power of Now. It all clicked. Started meditating at the same time I started reading. I've let go of the past. Stop focusing on the future. Instead just live for the moment we are in. For the first time that I can remember, I love Mijolt. I don't recommend the suffering, but the other stuff might help. Too late didn't read. If you already feel miserable anyway, you have very little to lose doing more productive things you don't like, that will benefit you weeks to months from now. And once you start being rewarded for your efforts, you'll start feeling better. I mean, I don't know if it's quite the answer you're looking for, but I used to be quite miserable and isolated. Being miserable left me mostly depending on video games and YouTube to acquire what little joy and fun I still felt I could get out of life. But even that was having diminishing returns, and I soon found myself barely enjoying even that. That's when I realized I was just pretty miserable in general at that point. It wasn't some big moment of realization of anything, but I just slowly started thinking to myself, if I'm miserable anyway, why don't I start doing things that would benefit me in the future? While I stumbled and struggled time and time again to properly commit more regularly to cardio and workouts, I made my baby steps towards it. A lot of it is doing something every day that your future self will be grateful for. After a while, I started to enjoy going for my runs every day. Once you find ways, especially as a lazy person, to make it the task as easy as possible, you just start getting used to it. And the rewards start to come. Remember, it doesn't matter how slowly you go, you'll still be lapping everyone still sitting on the couch. I recommend having a cardio machine, motivational speech music in cheap wireless headphones, and comfy shoes to get started running. It's always right there. You can stop early and not have to walk home if you're tired or it starts raining, etc. All the good options have already been stated. Working out for sure did help me. If you don't want to start workout right away, try running a few miles every morning, eating good and cutting out sugar. I had my cat by my side at the moment I felt the loneliest. Just the sight of him could light me up, he is always so enthusiastic. Just resort to venting or therapy if you have no person who you can open up to. I started recording myself talking about my issues. And once you do that, hearing yourself can show how simple your issues were to solve. Bro, I don't know about your issues. But all I can say is you have all the power required to triumph over it. Have faith. Stay safe. That piece of advice about 5 minutes tasks should be done immediately really works to spur you on to do more. At least for me anyway. Started going to the gym once a week. Then that once a week became twice, 3, 4 and eventually 5 days a week. That then snowballed my personal life with discipline through diet, wanting to be better, improving myself and more. Sounds dumb, but gym. I started fishing. I'm not very good, but I'm outside, finding new places. Also, going on a lot of walks. Now, I can't stand sitting at home much. Even if the weather isn't exactly nice. I have found myself in a situation where I was forced to. My family got evicted from our house as we couldn't afford the mortgage anymore. My dad tried to kill himself and more. At that point, I gathered last money I had, roughly €300, moved to another country, slept on the floor of a friend's house and worked my ass in a bar 12 hours a day. 6 years later I am working in a managerial position. At a big company. From nothing, now I'm earning 70k yearly, helped out my family a bit and about to buy a house. Bottom line is, when I hit the bottom, I stopped crying a river and added acting. With time, hard work paid off. One step at a time, simple routines, exercise, cut the booze, eat better. You will be fine. I ran out of money to support my unemployed, hedonistic lifestyle. I stopped drinking. You always think you need some sort of addicting substance to live fully. Now I'm addicted to life. Basically, lack of motivation comes from overstimulated brain. Simply put, you should limit, or give up altogether, using porn, internet, cigarettes, coffee. Start working out, and I don't mean F yourself up in gym, just do running for 10 minutes a day, meditation, and sleep well. I know it sounds like 2 + 2 = 4. But if you actually try it, you will be shocked how life will change. Got divorced. Eat healthy. Joined the gym. I got a personal trainer. Then got the gym bug. Got addicted. Started getting fit. Lots of energy from supplements and microdosing. Life turned around. Ready to meet new and interesting people now. Getting a living wage and not working myself to death. And I'm saying this realizing that it's something not entirely in many people's control. It's so important though, and why I really advocate that everyone regardless of their job get a living wage. It's so hard to get motivated when you work your ass off and get just barely enough to survive in return. I stopped smoking weed. Among other changes in my life, this was the one that absolutely did not want to give up but also has had the greatest impact. Smoking didn't really cause any issue but rather made me complacent with the issues I already had. By taking away what made me satisfied with my life, I was able to work towards activities that truly made me happy. It changed after my wife got pregnant with our first kid. T was in an easygoing mode before that, but once it dawned upon me that I'm bringing a new person into the world who I'm responsible for, my whole outlook changed. I started helping my wife in more chores, etc., and most importantly, I began working hard to earn more. Nothing in my life earlier had motivated me like this. Oh man, this is hard. You've got to look at where you are, and realize it sucks. Then you look at where you want to be, and start taking the steps to get there. It's the only way that ever works, and none of it is easy. It worked for me once to get a notebook and write down the things I have to do, adding things as I go, basically. Took me months to get to the bottom of my to-do list, but it worked. Psilocybin, gym, quitting porn/masturbation, cutting sugar out of my diet. Multiple things, but I read a book called Mastery by Robert Greene, and for whatever reason it just motivated me. Eventually though, I realized setting goals is the key to everything for me. Without small and large goals I get depressed, fat, unfit, etc. I used to think the whole write down what you want to accomplish today thing was a lot of shite. But it isn't. Put even 2 things you want to achieve today in the notes on your phone, tick them off, then do whatever you usually do. Repeat that, and I think it's almost impossible that you won't become more productive. It feels good once you get the ball rolling. The current pandemic actually caused me to have the best time of my life. In the beginning of 2020 I quarantined myself for 2 weeks and left my university's city to move back to my parents. I only had online classes. Before that I was a fat sloth. Sure, I managed to get through my classes, but any other time of the day I'd sit on my couch binging shows, drinking beer and eating fast food. I have a very good relationship with my mother, and when I came back, she was kinda surprised how much weight I gained. She wanted to lose some weight as well, so we made a pact. She'll pay for food, but I have to cook. I bought some cooking books from Weight Watchers and our journey started. Additionally to that, I made the best investment of my life. I bought a cheap TV and an ergometer. 4 times a week and half an hour training while watching my beloved TV shows. I made myself the rule that I only could watch them if I was spinning my legs. Legs stop moving, show stops playing. A year went by and now I lost 33 pounds and train 1,5 hours twice a week with one body workout if I have spare time. I'm eating healthy home-cooked meals and a small treat in the evening. It never felt hard because I started small. But slowly over time I got fitter and healthier. Instead of using my car to drive 1 mile to the grocery shop, I now walk to it happily. I feel fucking amazing. I'm waking up in the morning without an alarm clock and immediately want to stand up and start the day. I gained so much confidence because I can now move my body with actual power. Walking isn't exhausting, I can squat down without being out of breath when standing up again. 3 hours of work in the garden actually make fun. Oh, and I can wear my old clothes again. The top of the cake is that I started singing and playing the guitar, and I don't suck at it. Recorded myself and showed the clip to my friends who complimented me on how happy I look. This pandemic sucks, but I think it gave me back some decades of my lifetime. For lack of a better term, a mixture of determination and convenience. I want to buy a house as I'm sick of renting, but will never be able to get a job that could make affording one a reality, so I looked for part-time jobs that could work around my own and found one cleaning for just 3 hours a night 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. But there's a gap of a good 4 hours in between jobs and can't justify going home, as that would take over an hour there and back again for work later, and the extra petrol would make the extra job obsolete, so joined the gym as a way of killing time in between jobs. 8 months later, I don't know if I still want the house, as the 2 jobs are killing me, but have become addicted to the gym by accident because of it and have taken it more seriously than I ever imagined I would. So it even ended up affecting things like my diet and weekend party lifestyle. So while a goal was the initial catalyst in the chain of events, the MVP in turning myself around from a lazy fatalist to an active motivated person was purely making it convenient for myself, then learning to love it. Heartbreak. And apparently it is the most motivational thing ever. As far as I know, most men either become gym bros or starts working on cars. I chose the first one and have lost about 90 IBS in the last year, lifting weights 4 to 6 times a week, and completely redid my eating habits. now closing in on 225 IBS and trying to hit 190 within the end of the year. Before that I just played video games and drank Monster Energy when I was not working. Now I can't live without my lifting/active lifestyle. It really is addictive. People always told me that being active could be something you couldn't live without. I thought they were bullshitting. That sounded ridiculous, but it was true all along. Smiley face, go get it, buddy. One step at a time. Don't know how much this will help, but discipline is the key, not motivation. You won't feel motivated every day, but you can be disciplined enough to begin a routine. The most important thing is getting started, and sometimes it might help to force yourself to just take one more step forward before taking the next one, e.g. don't worry about your performance at the gym, just start by getting changed. Then leaving the house, then heading over, etc. Just take it one step at a time and be disciplined enough to make a change. Any level of change and improvement is good, because Rome wasn't built in a day, and if you stay disciplined and committed for long enough, things will and can change. You just gotta believe in yourself. Start small. I did couch to 5K just after a breakup, 11 years and married. She turned out to be not into men. That ended up getting pace, as loved the way I felt after it. Though I still have a complicated relationship with running. From that I noticed foods that made me feel worse when doing that and started chasing better nutrition. This led to me cutting out alcohol. Without alcohol numbing. Mel started getting more and more motivated. I started swimming and cycling in addition, and should be doing a triathlon later this year. Having a target definitely helps, something you'll be proud to accomplish. These things also build your confidence up and helps create a healthy cycle. The biggest thing out of that is removing that alcohol. I was becoming reliant on it and it affects mood and sleep heavily.